2.
Live from Los Angeles in the CRN Digital Talk Studios, it's The Edge at Night with Tommy Hunter. Here he is now, ready to shake up your late nights, your host, Tommy Hunter!
Oh yeah, here we are once again, another Saturday night on The Edge at Night with me, your host, Tommy Hunter. What's up, people? Welcome to the show. Thanks for tuning in on this awesome Saturday night. Just coming from the Whosoever's event over there in Costa Mesa. Ryan did an amazing job as always, so always go check out the whosoevers.com. Ryan Reese has got an amazing ministry over there, amazing movement that's happening. Oh man, what else is going on this week? Well, I think I told you guys last week, and I'll just kind of go back over. Michelle and I renewed our vows, my producer Michelle, who is also my wife. So anyways, congratulations to us. I know all the applause are going on right now, all around the world. I want to also welcome, what do we got? We have Africa, Mexico, England. My friends Danny and Kevin over in England. What's up, you guys? I love you, miss you. Pastor Moses over in Africa. All these guys are tuning in from all over the Philippines. What an amazing deal this is. And then we've got, of course, all of our local folks in my affiliate over in Chicago. What's up, Chi-Town? As you guys know, that's my original place of birth, and so I've got a big heart for Chi-Town out there. What else? Some of the biggest news, obviously, unfortunately, some of the biggest news this week. Miley Cyrus had a meltdown on the MTV Awards, and of course, everybody had to tune into that, right? And I'm like, what? Like, you expect to tune into the MTV Awards and find something good. And so, look, if you tuned in to the MTV Awards and you were expecting, like, something positive, something awesome, you know, there's some of the musicians on there are extremely gifted, talented, but then you all focused, everybody that seemed like, especially the Christian world, focused on Miley Cyrus and all this stuff that she was doing stupid. And then, you know what, as I posted on Facebook earlier this week, hey, look, you know what, we all do stupid things. So take that big old log that's, like, poking in your eye, yank it out and see clearly for what it really is. It's just her just in the midst of stupidity. We all do it. So get off your religious high horse, step on down, get on your knees, and just pray for the girl, all right? That's all that's got to happen. Let's see what else. Some big news for myself personally. We're starting a church in Long Beach. I think I might have alluded to that some big news was coming. Well, that's true. We're starting a church out in Long Beach, in the one of the longest beaches in the world, from what I understand. So if not the longest beach in America, thus the name Long Beach. So anyways, that's really cool. And then as a matter of fact, next weekend, there are going to be a bunch of guys that are going to slap me across the head. They're going to ordain me as a pastor. They're going to tell me to go forth and get it after it. So that's some really cool news about me personally. Tonight's guest, when we come back to the next segment, I've got one of a really cool guy that's coming in to the studio, Brad Eldon Mowry, who is going to be here. Brad has a jean company. Brad's a musician. He's a dad, and he's just a really cool looking guy. When you see him, you can go to tikilive.com and you can tune in and see us. And Brad, he almost reminds me of like that Johnny Depp look. So it kind of looks like I have Johnny Depp in the studio tonight. But anyways, thank you for tuning in. And as always, you can always find me over on Twitter at The Edge at Night. Or if you just want to go check out the behind-the-scenes pictures, not just here in the studio, but when I'm out and about with all of my celebrity friends, go to Instagram at The Edge at Night. And anyways, stay tuned. Keep it real right here at The Edge at Night on CRN Digital Talk Radio. And come on back, because we're going to be here with Brad Eldon Mowry.
All right, quick turnaround. Here we go, guys. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Yeah, here we are. We are back. You're liking that music, huh? So, hey, let's welcome my guest, Brad Eldon Mowry. Brad, look into the camera, wave to everybody, wave to all your fans and everybody that knows you. Do you want to get, by the way, since we're just tuning in, And I know, Brad, you've got the Jeans Project, which we're going to talk about in a minute. But more importantly, I know you recently, and I'm going to embarrass you here for a minute.
Thanks.
Because Brad just recently went public and said, hey, I've got a girlfriend.
What?
Oh, no, here we go. So say hi to your girlfriend.
No, okay. I have to update you. I've sort of downgraded that status. And
So can we rewind now and start over?
Dude, nice try. Wow.
Can we, Eric, can we redo it? Yeah.
Wow. You are good. I need to pay attention.
He's gonna catch you.
All right, so we're
Super hot Japanese girl though, but I just wasn't feeling it. I cut her loose.
All right, so let's cut.
I didn't know how to say that. I'm like,
it's edited out. And what's your daughter's name?
Brady.
Brady, that's right. Okay.
Brady. 17, Brady.
All right.
Okay, guys, here we go. Coming at you in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Oh yeah! Once again, welcome back to The Edge at Night. It's always me, your favorite radio show host, Tommy Hunter. I've got a great co-host in tonight, Brad Alden Mowry. He's right here from Southern California, and he's got a company called the Jeans Project. And so since Brad is in the studio, we want to welcome Brad. I know I can hear all that applause from around the world right now. Brad is just tuning into you. So wave in the camera right there, because I know they're all tuned into Tiki Live right now, wanting to check you out and see who you are. And of course, they want to see my big, beautiful bald head. And anyway, all right. So we know that you have your daughter is probably listening tonight. So let's say hi to Brady, who's 17 years old.
17. Hi, Brady.
Hi, Brady. What's up? Thanks for listening in. And in case you're just tuning in, again, I've got Brad. He's from the Jeans Project. So let's talk a little bit about that. Now, we're all familiar with some of the bigger name brands like Levi, Seven, True Religion, all that. So what's the deal with your brand?
Jeans Project is a premium brand made in Los Angeles that is solely exists to serve a cause of helping other people. So if you can imagine like a Tom Shoes of jeans and made in America, that's the sort of big picture of it.
So they're a really cool jean then.
They're a really cool jean. They're made of the highest, the nicest fabric available in the market, whether it's from U.S., Italy, Japan, made in the same factory and supply chain as all the brands you just mentioned before. Part of what we do is develop for those folks. So it's probably a $200 value at half that price.
That's awesome.
That stands for a cause.
So I know, and just so you don't know this, but I have a very large female listening audience.
Perfect.
Okay. And so they're all tuning in right now. They're going, hey, is Brad single? Because I could just have a whole entire closet full of jeans, So Brad is single. And so ladies, if you want to find Brad after this,
wow.
Just kidding. I know I'm totally messing with you, and I love it. See, I'm totally throwing him off, and this is the exciting stuff about this show, is that I can do whatever I want because it's my show. See?
You went there.
All right. So Jeans Project, you got this jean company now. Where did you get your start in the business?
I went to school for music, oddly enough, and I got into the jeans business because of Brady. She was born, and I didn't want to tour. I didn't want to travel as much, and I ran denim laundries. Eventually, I was asked to take a big job in New York City, and I traveled to 30, 40 countries as a vice president of a Fortune 500 company doing development work, research, manufacturing for many different brands. And came out to L.A. about 8 years ago, returned from New York, and started working with premium brands on the West Coast, fabric development, fabric sales, wash development, creative development, manufacturing, and that type of thing. And we decided to do something with that expertise to make a difference. That's kind of what Jeans Project is. That's
cool. And so if anybody knows jeans, Brad, you know jeans.
We know jeans. People hire us to make their jeans and their jeans business better.
And so, folks, for everybody listening, so look down at your legs and those amazing jeans that you have on. Brad, at some point, has had a touch on those at somewhere, some way. So everybody's wearing you on their butt.
Wow.
That's
awesome.
That's a thought, right? Did you ever think that one before?
Yeah, I need a female counterpart to help that smoothly happen.
All right. So anyways, so you got this thing going. Now, where can we find your jeans?
Right now, they're at jeansproject.com.
Okay.
And we're just doing various events around the country at churches or colleges or music events, that type of thing. We're setting up events to sell the jeans that way, and eventually will be available in retail stores.
And so and that's exciting that they are going to actually go retail.
Yeah.
That's cool because I know that people are going to tune in. They're going to be like, "Hey, man, I love the idea," and we're going to talk about that idea in a few minutes. But now you have both men's and women's jeans.
Yeah,
that's cool.
We have men's and women's, 2 washes right now. We have 2 fits, 2 washes, and we have some new skinny jeans coming out at the end of September. And anything sold online, it's like no different than Zappos, fully guaranteed. You can return it with no questions asked within 30 days if it doesn't fit. And yeah.
That's cool. And just by the way, I was with the Boy Band Project a couple weeks ago, and one of the guys was wearing a pair of jeans. I was like, "Dude, those are some rad jeans. Where'd you get those?" And he's like, "From Brad." And I was like, "What?" He's from the Jeans Project. I thought that was cool. So, and then of course he took me through all the other stuff that is, either donated or sponsored. That they're sponsored by. Those guys don't have to do anything. They just have to show up and sing.
That's all.
Yeah, it's kind of like me here at the studio. Everybody else does everything, and I just have to show up and open my mouth,
Just look good and talk a lot.
Exactly. So, which, by the way, most of you can't see, but we have the honored privilege of having Eric as our sound guy tonight. Give Eric a big round of applause. I have not had the opportunity to work with Eric since day one, and so this is an honor and a treat to have you. So thank you, Eric.
Wow.
And speaking of Eric in the whole CRN digital talk radio scene, I heard that Jennifer Horn and Mike Horn and you were in Hawaii this week.
I wasn't in Hawaii, but Mike and Jennifer were.
I thought, okay, well, I thought
Very
I heard
jealous of them, by the way.
And so they're doing their show from Hawaii. Hey, folks, listen, if we need you to sponsor the show because not only do we need to keep it going, but I need to do the show from Hawaii.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that be cool? All right, so listen, also coming up, I know we're going to talk a little bit more about how you got into it and some other things that you're doing with the jeans. And some other stuff that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing some live remotes down the road, you guys. I just heard that Korn is going to be in concert in L.A. And so as you guys know, those guys are my peeps. They're my circle of friends that I chill with. And so I'm going to do a live remote from backstage, and we're going to have that. We'll do that live right here at CRM Digital Talk Radio. That's going to be a fun one. I can't wait to do that
Very
one.
cool.
Because, Brad, I know you're a musician, so I know you can appreciate what that would be like to be in the hoopla of all that and all that hype stuff. Yeah. So, and speaking of music, you're a guitarist?
I'm a singer, and I play some guitar. I would not call myself a guitarist, but I do play guitar.
Sing us something. Sing us a one-liner.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, my gosh. Really? That's what we're going to get?
Dude, I could have brought my guitar and done some music live. I would have done that.
All right. Well, and speaking of guitars, we want to thank U-Rock Guitar for sponsoring the show, as always. That's what I should have done. I should have had you play the U-Rock guitar. That's a pretty cool little electric guitar that's pretty... It's got that MIDI technology in it, so it's pretty. Cool. It's pretty rad. So, anyways, so when we come back, we want to talk about Brad's story. I mean, there's a lot of different things that he's doing with this jeans project. The project isn't just to put money in Brad's pocket,
right?
No pun intended, because it's jeans. Get it? All right. Wow, this is a rough crowd. Anyways, but it's really to help out some people. Either homeless people coming out of rehab, people coming off the streets, out of the jails and all that stuff. So it's going to be a pretty cool thing, and I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. If you're just tuning in, we've got Brad Alden Mallory from the Jeans Project. We also want you to tune into the TikiLive.com so you can see us live and in person, our big, beautiful faces here. You're going to think I have Johnny Depp in the studio. That I get Bruce Willis, and then if I have that hat on like you have on, I get Jesse James all the time.
I can see
but
that.
What's funny is I walked into the dry cleaners the other day. I had a tank top on and my little 2.5-pound chihuahua in my arms, and the lady just didn't even know what to say to me. And she's like, "Jesse James," and I'm like, "No." Okay, thank you, but no. Anyways, all right. Now I've got the listeners really going here. So you guys stay tuned, because when we come back, more with Brad Alden Mowry right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio at the Edge at Night.
Quick turnaround, buddy. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, here we go once again on the Edge at Night with me, your host, Tommy Hunter. And we are here every Saturday night, by the way. You can tune in and hear us live every Saturday night, and you can also watch us on tikilive.com, so tune in and see us there. But as I mentioned earlier, I've got Brad Alden-Mowry here from the Jeans Project. And so anyways, we were talking where we could get him, where we can find him. And one of the places we can find him, Brad, from what you said, is over at the Dream Center here in L.A.
Yeah, we're having an event September 29th and October 3rd at the Dream Center.
That's cool. And so
Angelus Temple, actually.
At Angelus Temple, okay. And so now, how'd you get hooked up with the Dream Center?
My brother actually recommended I go check it out. I was going through a kind of a crazy personal time, and they hold a church service there on Thursdays and Sundays, and I begrudgingly went over there to check it out, and I hit it off with the pastor right away. One of the coolest guys I've ever met, and the things they're doing for real people it really just spoke to me.
And so now, how do the Jeans and the Dream Center correlate? I mean, Jeans and the Dream Center, how do those two, what's the deal?
Well, the Dream Center itself is a huge facility that helps thousands of people every week. They feed thousands of people. They house hundreds of people. They give away clothes. They provide 1- and 2-year free rehabilitation programs for men and women and teenagers, human trafficking. What spoke to me specifically was the rehabilitation programs. Being the son of an alcoholic, a former drug addict myself, been through plenty of crazy stuff. I just admired the men and women who were so transparent, so brave, so willing to share their stories, and wanted to be better and make a difference no matter how young or old they were. They were just right there trying to be a better person. And this place allowed an environment for people to make that transition and transformation, and I just loved that, and I wanted to be a part of that. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, they obviously need money and funding to keep those things going, so I started talking with Pastor Matthew Barnett about how I could use the only two things I know how to do is music and jeans. So we talked about the jeans, what we could do with that expertise to make a difference. So we created a brand that hopefully will not only provide funding for these free programs, but will also create short-term job opportunities for some of the men and women coming out of them, so they can go home with a few bucks in their pocket, a job reference, a sense of confidence, that kind of thing.
That's pretty cool. And as you know, I have a tie-in with the Dream Center over in Phoenix, where I'm originally from. So I love what you're doing there. So folks, when you're listening to this, Brad's he's taking his many years of expertise in the high-end jean market and making these incredibly high-end jeans that most of you are paying $200-300 for. And you're how much are they over there?
Under $100, $99, and that gives $10 to $20 back to these rehabilitation programs, and you get a premium jean.
So it funnels right back through into the Dream Center, and it allows these people to A, make money, B, get some skills under their belt, right? So that eventually they can get out in the world. And if you don't know about the Dream Center, please go check it out. It's at dreamcenter.org, and the guys it's been in LA, I want to say, 20 plus years, 25 plus years now.
I think 18 years.
Okay, yes. I knew it was somewhere around there. At one point I had Phil Aguilar on the show, and Phil kind of helped facilitate that whole thing back in the day when it was just getting started. Okay. And so it's interesting now to see it 20 years later, and they're doing some edgy things by bringing jeans in there.
Right.
And that's awesome that you would have the desire and the passion to create a situation to better these folks' lives, because obviously they all need it. We're so busy on the outside, and I say we, and that's you, me, and everybody else in the studio today and out on the streets. We look at homeless people and we see them and we're like, oh man, they should just go get a job. They just need to go to McDonald's and get a job. And as you know, and as I know, because it's not that easy. It's not just that easy just to wake up one day and go get a job at McDonald's. You have to, first of all, you got to be able to have a place to live, a shower, right. Your hygiene altogether. And the Dream Center provides that for these folks. Right. And you're providing the job skills and the job training and an actual product for them to, in essence, make and then turn around and benefit from the funds that come out of that.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the big picture vision that we hope to accomplish. And I agree with you. I used to be that guy that would see someone on the street and they'd ask for money and be like, hey, get a job, but don't think that way anymore. I think that we all need help. If you've ever been through a tough time, a down time, a broken time, it's not my job or yours to judge people and do those kind of things. So we just want to help.
Yeah, that's cool, and I can appreciate that. And again, when we come back, now Brad just didn't wake up one day and say, I'm just going to go over to the Dream Center. Nor did his brother just wake up one day and say, hey, I've got this great place. You got to come. This is a process. This all came through a process of events and a series of events, and we're going to talk about that in the next segment. So make sure you stay tuned to The Edge at Night right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio, because when we come back, we've got more with Brad Alden Mowry from the Jeans Project. So stay tuned.
All right, buddy, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
And once again, we're back with The Edge at Night. And my co-host for the evening, Brad Alden Mowry. And when we were in our last segment, if you don't know, you're just tuning in, Brad has a company called the Jean Project. He's got some really high-end jeans for a really low cost. And part of that cost gets turned around to feed and to support the homeless deal going on at the Dream Center, and really kind of gives these folks some job training, some skills to get out there so that we don't just have to look at these folks and say, hey, why don't you just go work at McDonald's? Brad, in partnering with the Dream Center, has created an environment to where they will get some job skills and make some money and be able to get up and on their feet again. So that's who we have in the studio. So I'm honored to have Brad in the studio today. Now, Brad, as we were just talking in between the sets there, you didn't wake up one day and say, hey, I think I'll just go leave my VP job and of these big jean manufacturers and all these high-end jean companies and just go start a jean company one day that's going to turn around and go feed the homeless, or support the homeless population in LA. So how did this all come about? Like, how did you get into this?
How did I get into jeans?
How'd you get into the Dream Center? Because we've talked about that, and you see something at the Dream Center that spoke to you, that touched your heart. And so, what was it?
Well, when I initially went to the Dream Center, it was just the music was overwhelming, and the heart of the pastor was amazing. The things that he wanted to do to help other people. And I just saw I just realized that we all live such a rake-it-in type of lifestyle that for me, it took me kind of hitting a personal bottom and just understanding things differently. And then...
so can I just interrupt here?
Yes, please.
So when you say you hit a personal bottom, let's just touch on that for a quick second. What does that mean?
Sure. Well, there's been several. I mean, I don't know which bottom, but that bottom, that particular bottom was I went through a divorce after being married for 15 years, and my ex-wife and my children moved out of Los Angeles and moved to Florida. So I was facing a ton of financial burden, lost my kids. I didn't lose them, actually. It's a longer story, but they moved away to Florida, so I was on my own and kind of just face to kind of look at what am I doing and why.
Gotcha. Okay. And so getting back into now, so here you are, you're at this bottom, and the only way to look, by the way, if you're listening and you're at the bottom, the only other way to look is up. So now let's hear the upside to how that kind of continued.
The upside was I was fortunate enough to find the Angelus Temple Dream Center services. I was raised Catholic. My brother asked me to go attend one of these services. He said, you really need to unite. I was really down, really depressed, really sad, and kind of lost. And he said, you need to really to unite with a congregation in a church. I was raised Catholic, so I didn't like church. I didn't think church was fun, cool, or inspiring, actually, unfortunately. But I went to honor him. And wow, the things I learned in that building about looking up, as you say, and that no matter how hurt you are, that you can serve other people and help other people, and it also in helping them, you help yourself, and it was transforming.
So it's interesting that when you say that you hit bottom and you went to the Dream Center, and here these people are at their bottom, and really the bottom at the end of the day looks the same. And as we talked earlier, it doesn't matter how much money you have, fame, wealth, and I've talked about this on my show a few different times, but like I said, if you get to the bottom, you're just simply at the bottom, right? And I know that you weren't homeless. You had money in the bank. You had a successful career, but yet you were still at the bottom. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting thing, because I want people to realize that when they're hearing that and you're at the Dream Center, it's one and the same.
Yeah.
And so, but you obviously had some creative stuff in you, and this is kind of where the Jeans Project came up, I imagine.
Yeah. I think what you're referring to is a spiritual bottom.
Exactly.
I was bottomed out in that regard, and what happened was I was taught that we all have gifts, that if we use them to help other people, that's actually something that's honored by God. And
so you go to this church, you hear all these great things. I mean, like, did you find that you found a connection with God there? And if so, like, what changed from the bottom to where you are today? I mean, what kind of give us that 30,000 foot view, Reader's Digest version of that?
As I mentioned earlier, I went to school for music. I've been a musician my whole life. It started through music. I was put on stage to perform, share music, and I had that all wrong. That approach wasn't going the right way, and I realized that we're given those gifts to also serve other people. Through that process, we started talking about the Jeans and how to utilize that business expertise to try to make a difference for other people.
Sure, cool. And so now, how long have you been doing this with the Dream Center?
I've been going there 4 years. I've been playing on the worship team for 2, and we started the Jeans Project in February of this year.
Wow, so it's super new. That's awesome.
Super new.
But what's interesting about it is, even before we met, I knew about it.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it is good, because I've heard about it through, different avenues, and whether it be through Josh, our mutual friend Josh, yeah. And obviously from the Boy Band Project guys, which, by the way, thank you for supporting them. I know that Levi Mitchell, I had Levi Mitchell in the studio here, and Levi is out of the whole group. He's the one guy who has taken a stand to be pure till marriage, and so he's got this thing called PTM. But I know that he has just a great testimony, and when he was in the studio here, it was amazing. I mean, just the teenagers that listened in, and I know they're listening in right now from all over the world, are probably tuning into this. And so here, this is the guy who makes sure that they have jeans out there when they're out running around, and he just does it because he just loves to support good things that are happening. And Levi's a really great thing that's happening out in the world today. So when we come back, I want to talk about, you talked about that you do worship and stuff for the Dream Center. And so you obviously have a musical bone in your body. So I want to hear more about that when we come back. I want to hear a little bit more about your daughter and some other things. But so let's dive into that if you're cool with that.
Sounds good.
All right. So stay tuned, because when we come back, we're going to do all those things right here at The Edge at Night. And as always, you can find me on Instagram at The Edge at Night, or on Twitter at The Edge at Night. My website, theedgeatnight.com. You can find Brad at thejeansproject.com. So stay tuned, because when we come back, we've got more from Brad Alden Mowry right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2. Try this again. There we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2. I love counting. Exactly. Okay, 3 times the charm. Here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
And here we are back once again on The Edge at Night. Hey, by the way, I know you can't see him, but in the studio with Brad and I is my co-pastor of the Lifeline Church, which we're going to be starting off. It's William Lee. I know you can't see him, but he's here. Go check him out on Facebook. He's got some cool stuff on his Facebook at William Lee. So, anyways, I had to give him a shout out because he's sitting here and he's our personal photographer for the night, and he just wanted to hang out with me, just like the rest of you want to, right? Hey, which by the way, on one of my up and coming shows down the road, I'm gonna pick a guest to come into the studio and actually co-host the show with me. How cool is that? Almost like a raffle or a contest. We're gonna whoever can tweet it out or shout out or whatever the heck the most. I know there's one person in particular who goes incredibly insane every time the show is on, so I can't imagine that she's not going to win. But hopefully somebody else will chime in as well too. So listen, we talked about your music talents last segment. So outside of the Jeans, outside of the Dream Center and doing worship for them, what else do you got going on? Because you look like a musician. You look like you could walk in Hollywood and they're going to be like, oh yeah, he's one of those artsy musician guys, One of those guys. One of those guys,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, man. I've done music my whole life. I started sharing at the Angels Temple Worship 2 years ago, singing, playing an acoustic guitar. I've recently started playing bass regularly there. I love doing that. But that same church taught me how using those gifts to serve is a reward way beyond anything I've ever done secular and to sell albums or promote T-shirts or that kind of thing. So I'm just finishing my first Christian album, and it's a rock album. So
I like it. It's about time.
Yeah, man. So it's coming out in October. It's called Audience of One, and it's going to be a rockin' album, but it's also going to be full of inspiration and some worship, and really excited about it.
So when you say it's rock, so who would you in the mainstream world, who would you equate it to?
Man,
what sound does it have?
My favorite singer is a guy named Chris Cornell, who sings very bluesy, soulfully. Sang from Soundgarden to Temple of the Dog to Audio Slave, that kind of thing. So I would say vocally it's in that sort of raw rock bluesy thing. Some of the guitar, Tyler Logan and Drew Nichols play guitar, and they're just beasts, and they can play everything from hard rock to blues and country, and Tyler tours with Israel Houghton, so you know.
Which, by the way, we have to give Tyler a big shout out.
Tyler Logan.
What's up, Tyler? Anyways, all right, cool. And so, and I also learned in talking to you that your daughter, your 17-year-old daughter, Brady, sings with you as well.
Heck yeah. I have a daughter, 17, son, 13, Crosby. Brady's been in theater since she was a little girl. Because I sing, she asked me to join her on a couple of auditions just for fun. Oddly enough, I got the lead in these plays and ended up doing a lead role in a couple Christmas plays, and did that with her. It's been a crazy, great experience.
That's awesome. And so even outside of that, you're a pretty busy guy.
Busy guy.
So do you even have time for a girlfriend?
I would make time for the right one.
All right, good. All right, I love it because I love to be able to throw you off.
I'm thinking of somebody right now.
She's already in your mind.
She's in my mind. Yeah.
The boy.
Supposed to meet her next week. There is a new prospect.
Oh, are you bringing her? Are you bringing her Sunday night when you come to my ordination? Because I know you're coming.
I'm coming. I'm absolutely coming. But no, she won't be available that day.
Oh, okay.
Got to get to know her first.
Bummer, because I know that Will and I would probably, if not us, our wives would be like, oh, let's go check out this chick, right?
I'll show you her picture. You'll be glad I didn't bring her. It'll be distracting.
I don't know. I know what my wife looks like, and I know that she can be pretty distracting as well. And she sits in here in the studio. So, anyways, all right.
Okay.
Woo, let's bring it back in. Bring it back in, Tommy. Bring it back in. All right. So, you're doing some really cool things, and so tell us a little bit, like where we can find you, where we can find the jeans. I know you have some shows coming up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that.
Okay. Well, jeansproject.com. I have a music site, bradalden.com, my first and middle name. So my album's released under Brad Alden, my first and middle name. We are doing an album release, Jeans Project kind of collaborative event on October 3rd at Angelus Temple. So right after service, there's a free mini concert. The albums will be discounted for the first 500 people that are there. And Jonathan Butler is going to show up and jam with us. Some other monsters from Free Chapel and other big churches. Tyler will be playing, Drew Nichols, John Jackson. Just nutty, crazy good musicians. I'm really excited about it.
And what time does that start?
The service is at 7. The concert's between 8:30 and 9 p.m.
So now, does it cost to get into this
Free,
thing?
absolutely free.
Free, everybody.
Free.
That's FREE, free.
October 3rd, 1100 South Glendale Boulevard.
That's awesome.
I got that right.
And so that's going to be a pretty big turnout. I know I'm personally going to be there, so that's cool. And we'll bring a crew in and check you out.
We'll have the jeans there also. So this will be the debut
cool.
of the new styles, the new skinny fits, new cool washes. So we're kind of putting the two events together to make it fun.
Okay, and I think that some people ask too, you'll have the fitting rooms and stuff there too,
yeah,
right?
We're going to have fitting rooms. You can try them on, touch them, feel them. If you don't like them, you don't like them. If you like them, you can buy them on the spot. We'll have T-shirts, some T-shirt giveaways, some album giveaways.
That's awesome.
Big
All right,
night.
well, cool. All right.
Yeah.
Well, listen, when we come back in the next segment, we're going to hear just right out of Brad's heart. He's going to share with you kind of where he's at and what he has for you. He's got a special message for you. So make sure you stay tuned to The Edge at Night right here on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
All right, fellas, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2.
All right, once again, welcome back to The Edge of Night for what I call Share From Your Heart segment, as you guys know, for my faithful listeners from all around the world. And as you know, we have Brad Alden Mowry in here. And you've heard his story. You've heard how he got hooked up into the gene world, how he got hooked up into the music world, and really what he wants to do at this point, and I love this part of the show, is Brad's going to take a few minutes here and he's just going to share from his heart, because he's got a special something in there that he wants to give out to you. So Brad, take it away if you would.
Sure. I guess I'll just share a little bit about myself and consider this a bit of a testimony. Son of an alcoholic. My father was a World War II Marine, drank from my childhood all the way through his life. Older brothers were drug addicts. I became a drug addict. Grew up in a very womanizing home. Eventually kind of was walking a little bit straighter when I became a parent, and spent a lot of time in the music business. Traveled the world for jeans and music. And then I went through a divorce. And for me, the really nice thing, the upside of down, I guess, for me, divorce wiped me out because my kids moved away. My finances were challenged and jeopardized. I wasn't doing anything with my dreams, and kind of felt like a failure, and I had nowhere to go, and didn't know who I was anymore. At those moments, we look up, as you said earlier, and we a lot of us cry out for God. I think it's in every single one of us, but for me, when I actually really hit my personal rock bottom by my kids moving away and divorce, my family breaking up, I asked for God's help, and I actually followed the opportunity to learn more about that. And I can just say that from the people I've met and the things I've learned and the path I've walked down, that no place is too far for someone to be changed, transformed, saved, improved, I just think through God all things are possible, and it's nothing to do with religion. It has to do with faith and a relationship with Christ.
Thank you, Brad. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Okay. And thank you so much for being on the show tonight. I love it. I love that you were here in the studio, and we got to have you back because I want to know down the road what's going on with the Jeans Project. Obviously, we'll stay in touch outside of here as well. This is just a way just to get it out and about. And if you want more information from Brad about the Jeans Project, you can always go to thejeansproject.com. If you want him to come to your area with this particular thing, if maybe something touched you where you're like, we got to get this guy out to our church or our event or whatever it is, because you're not just doing church events, you'll do large events as well. And so if you want to get him out there, he's got a really cool jean. He brought me some, so I can't wait to try them on because I love them. I think they're a cool color. And what else? Just thanks again for being here, and we look forward to having you back. And so, as always,
thank you.
I thank everybody from around the globe listening in to the Edge at Night tonight, whether it's from Africa, the Philippines, Mexico, England, even right here in the United States, Southern California. And I look forward to having you all back here next week. Oh, yeah, and a big plug out to my Chicago folks. I love you guys. Thanks for always tuning in on Saturday nights. And so always make sure you stay tuned. And if you want to catch me outside of here, I love when you guys tune in to my Instagram, which is at the Edge at Night, or The Edge at Night, and then Twitter at The Edge at Night. And then my website, you can always find who's going to be coming on the show next at theedgeatnight.com, their stories, their pictures, all that fun stuff. That is just the best way to kind of figure out who's going to be on the show. And then if you want to connect with me personally, you want to get into my business, just go to Facebook at Tommy Hunter, and you can always find me there. I'm not going to tell you the address of the studio, though, because you could find me here, too, but I won't let you. And Eric, you better not tell him either. So anyways, as always, stay tuned every Saturday night at 10:05 p.m. on CRN Digital Talk Radio, Channel 1. Peace!
Those that think that vodka can be harsh because really colorless and odorless and tasteless except for the impurities that are there, this has got the impurity that gives it a nice soft feel to it. It does. The minerals really add to it.
You know, we kind of mentioned with Alan Wong a moment ago how Hawaiian cuisine has evolved, but mixology here on the islands has evolved as well.
Yes, absolutely. It's almost